A great loss to Namibia indeed. Now, last week, the United States Embassy announced that 21 participants were selected to represent Namibia for the 2017 edition of the Mandela Washington Fellowship for Young African Leaders in the United States. Next week, these participants are set to fly off to the United States. Now, joining us this morning are two of these participants, Caillin Basson, who is a law graduate from the University of Namibia, as well as Clarence-Nocky Kaapehi, a forest ranger at the Ministry of Agriculture and Water and Forestry. Good morning, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Oh, great. Thank you
Should
very
be
much.
a great achievement, eh?
Oh, it feels great.
Absolutely.
Best feeling ever.
Best feeling ever. Great. Now, we know Namibia is mourning. Now, before we get into the YALI, we know you are going to carry the Namibian flag, and we are mourning the loss of a great leader. What lessons are you going to share with other participants as it relates to the fallen hero?
Number one, I have to say that this is a great loss at the wrong time.
Yeah.
This is the time that we are flying out, that we're going to miss the memorial service. We're going to miss the whole burial proceedings. And I have worked with him. I have been at Parliament for more than 7 years. I have seen him live. So his passion was not just into Namibia as a whole. He was also having a passion for the youth.
Absolutely.
He was having a passion for economic freedom. He was talking about good governance. Those have been the keys words on his lips. He was more concentrating on good governance, that he also emphasized on the issues of corruption. How will it affect Namibia as a country?
Absolutely.
I really would like to send this short message of condolences to the family, Yatoivo family, and on behalf of all the participants, we are really mourning with them. It's a pity that we can just not be with them at this point of time, as we had another equally important engagement.
We'll be in touch. If there's any streaming facilities, then would inform
but we will
you.
for sure watch the
absolutely,
state
as it unfolds.
Yes.
Great. Okay, now, Caillin, let me start with you. Briefly talk to us about yourself and the projects that you're involved in.
Well, as you mentioned, I'm a recent law graduate. I work full-time as production coordinator, however, in the film industry. And then last year we started a project called the NELA Project, which is the Namibian Inmates Legal Awareness Project, where we went to different correctional facilities to inform inmates regarding their rights, responsibilities and duties, both for when they're inside the facility and for obviously when they get released.
Okay.
We've since handed over this project to the PG. As we came together, we created like an info booklet for the inmates to read with great graphics in it regarding what we spoke to them about, you know, their rights, their duties and responsibilities. And because essentially we felt that we recognized the need that even though they might be in a correction facility, they're still essentially a part of the community.
Absolutely.
And they still have so much to offer once they get released, once they're out.
And that's a very difficult population to access, right?
It is, but I mean, as much as I think it was informative for them, I think it was very informative for us as well. Considering we were all law students at the time, and that was one of the first experiences or encounters we had where we would really know how it would be like once we work as lawyers to interact with someone who has been convicted of murder or of rape or something severe, and you having to put aside your personal bias or feelings in order to fairly represent.
Because there's always another side of the coin.
Always another side of the coin.
Now, Clarence, what are the projects that you've been involved in?
Okay, number one, I'm working for the Ministry of Agriculture. I'm a public servant, Directorate of Forestry. I'm a forest ranger by profession or by nature as well. So, you know, Namibia, through the Forest Act 12 of 2001, have been trying through the Directorate of Forestry with other companies, NAFOLA, CFN, Namibian Development Trust, to dissolve the user rights of forest resources to the people at the grassroots level. So through this process, there have been milestones to be made. There was a lot of activities that need to be taken into consideration in order for people to achieve this. So once they were gazetted, we lack what we call the post-gazettement activities for these community-based organizations in order to implement whatever they want. You know, you can dissolve the user rights, like the Ministry of Environment and Tourism have also dissolved the user rights of wildlife through conservancies to the community. So same applies to forestry. You cannot just give the user rights of wildlife and then the government still keep the forest.
So you have been fighting to ensure that the community accesses the forest without a lot of registration red tapes.
Exactly. So now what we did is that now they are being registered as community forest. So we have civil society organizations that are registered as community forests that are working to ensure that they reduce poverty within their communities. And number two, as a Hano Youth Foundation founder, we have another program for the youth, for uplifting the living standard of the youth, fighting for the rights of the girls so that they can go to school, and also promoting the culture of caring and giving through Hano Youth Foundation. Those are the projects that I have been more involved with.
Okay, great. I know, of course, you feel happy, it's exciting. I mean, you went through the process of selection, you emerged victorious. But could you just tell us, we understand that there will be activities leading up to your departure. What are these activities?
Well, it's slightly difficult to do as much as we'd like to do, given the time constraint and given the fact that not all of us is from Windhoek. I mean, I'm from Swakop, he came all the way from Atavi. So we'll be, creating some awareness in terms of just some media interviews, because I'm not sure how many people are actually aware of the fellowship. Also to encourage more people to apply for the following years. So we're trying to set as best an example as we possibly can. So tomorrow I know we're visiting the Mamadou orphanage for a handover. We've been collecting some clothes. We're going to do like a clothes/food drive. So that's going to be great. And on Thursday we fly already.
Oh, great.
It's this week.
Yeah, it's this week. So what is the importance of volunteerism, or instilling the spirit of volunteerism, especially among the young people of Namibia?
One of the most important factor is that whenever even you are looking for a job anyway, they look for experience. You can be a graduate. That's why we have a lot of UNAM and Polytech graduates. They are just there in streets because they lack what we call experience. When you volunteer, you acquire skills, requisite skills that will help you in future. And even when we applied for this program, it was one of the key questions in any volunteerism activities that you did in the past.
Before,
So I do believe that when you do nothing, you better volunteer somewhere in order to acquire skills that might, at least that small experience that might help you when you are going up.
And it's also being a point of light in somebody's life by volunteering.
Exactly.
Extending a helping hand, because there's also fulfillment in helping others.
You know, when you are promoting the culture of caring and giving, you know, your words can destroy someone or they can also build someone. So these charity organizations like Hano that we are running, my brother, we need a lot of volunteers, the people that are willing to help, the people that are willing to ensure. Because successful is not just about what you have. It's also about how many people you have helped to reach success.
The impact, yes,
exactly.
Absolutely.
So that is our point.
Yeah. Now, your visit to the States, what will it entail?
I think it largely depends on the type of track that you're in. I'm sure, as you'll be aware, there's 3 tracks. There's a civic leadership track, there's the business entrepreneurial track, and then there's also the public management track.
Yes. Which one are you in?
I'm doing the public management.
Okay, so what will that entail, public management?
So basically, I mean, we're going to be learning anything from the ethics involved in terms of public management, in IT, in terms of decision-making, sustainable development, how to govern and run an NGO. I mean, we're learning. I'm going to Howard University in Washington, D.C.
That's a black, it has a history with a black,
a great history, actually.
Great history,
I did my research on it, and I'm so looking forward to it.
Absolutely,
and it's been great. So it's obviously different, and we have, we're doing everything from classes to cultural sites visits to volunteering with the mayor's office, some projects we're going to be doing. There's also obviously the summit at the end, the summit where all of the about 1,000 Africans that are going to the different institutions are going to be meeting in Washington, D.C. for the summit.
Great. I have friends that went, I think, the previous year, and they say it's a very jam-packed program. So I wish you all the best. Have all the energy.
Thank you.
And be brave. You are from the land of the brave. Now, talking about being from the land of the brave, how do you plan on representing Namibia? You know, the Namibian flag is one of the most beautiful flags Yeah. So how do you plan on representing Namibia as a country?
It's awesome because so far Namibia is the only map that you can just easily do like this.
With your hands.
When you look at other countries, they are failing. And you know, Namibia, you just do this and you're already representing. You know, representing the land of the brave, where they say their blood waters our freedom. It's an amazing thing. Being from Namibia, number one, it's really an amazing thing. A lot of people, when we were chatting, even on the WhatsApp group of the university where I'm going to Minneapolis, University of Minnesota, they were asking Namibia, and then they were saying, oh, that Angelina Jolie country. I said, no, Namibia is not Angelina Jolie country.
She visited us.
She just visited us, you know. And, you know, we are going to learn a lot of things, especially the new framework on understanding leadership and public management, especially when you go into details of strengthening our skill for strategic questioning, meaning making, and also reflection, which is very, very important. When we are going to represent, we are going to make you proud. We will never disappoint you, as we never did from day one. So I think this is an opportunity, and not just only us. We are 22 participants, 21 participants that are going. So we will all make Namibia proud.
It's quite a large group. So any final remarks from you, Caillin?
No, I'm just extremely excited. I'm very excited to go. I think it's only now finally sitting in because we have a calendar, like a countdown, and Nocky is our countdown specialist. So every day he posts in the group like 5 more days, 20 hours, 3 minutes. So I'm very excited to go. Can't wait to go and gain some knowledge and experience to hone that, whatever skills we have, to then in order come back and implement it here. So very excited.
Great. That was Caillin. That was Caillin and Kaapehi, 2 selected participants are going to represent Namibia at the Nelson Mandela Washington Fellowship in the States. They leave this Thursday to represent Namibia in different tracks. Good Morning Namibia continues after this.